Good afternoon. Oh yes, please take your seat. Alright, you can sit anywhere you want to. Okay. Alright, are you all ready? Good. Good afternoon, my name is Lisa. I will be your teacher today. We are going to learn how to make shapes with this air dry clay in front of all of you. Let me just show you what I have here. This one. This is going to take very long time to dry, but let us just show you. Let me just show you how we can do a nice clay. Alright. So what you want to learn first of all is to keep your clay nice and moist. Put it into a Ziploc bag just like me, but before you work you just have to open one up and take the clay out. What I did is just simple. I just closed this one so it has two protections, so it's easier, you know. And you will need to have this protective mat on your desk. Do you have this? Great, wonderful. Today we're just going to use this one, which is just a simple Darby kids clay. It is air dry, so you don't need to use microwave or anything. Just have to set it aside until it dries. But the only thing that is very important is you don't have a lot of time to work on it because it starts to dry pretty quick. So, do you have something like this? Wonderful. Let us just take a little bit of it. No, a little bit, not too much. This piece will do. Maybe 2 pinches of it. Okay, you see how very moist it is. Then another most important thing is just to close it back out so we can use it the next time. Just put it aside for now, please. Wonderful. So let me just take this out. I know it's going to be very messy, but it's alright. After you do your clay, you'll just have to wash your hands thoroughly. So what I have here is a little piece of the clay, which is rather soft and nice and smooth to touch. But what you need to have is half of this. Just break it up. See how light it is? Airy even. That's why I like this clay. So I have here a very nice clay shape of very beautiful leaves. And you have those in front of you, I assume? Wonderful. So you just need to have this piece, make it into oval shape, but make the thickness same, make it smooth, so it's throughout similar weight and width, yes. So which piece of the leaf do you want to make? I know they're all beautiful. And this one is going to be easier, I think. So let's try here. Just put it on top of it. Press it down gently. And try to cover up all the leaves. But because one part is like sticking out now, and you just press from inside out. Just from the middle. Until you cover it up. Push it like that, but you don't want to get a lot of the other leaves, so just be careful with it, just be gentle. I know it's very easy to work with this clay because it is very soft. I know it's the birds singing. I think they're cheering you up. Okay, and now you have a very beautiful piece of clay with a nice shape, but not yet. We're not going to take it out yet. What we need to do is smooth out the surface so you can kind of make a very artistic piece. So just make it into like a flat and smooth out the edges as well, because when it's going to dry, it is going to crack up a little bit because it's a clay. Just gently run your finger along the edges until you have a very smooth piece. And it's very smooth, isn't it? Gentle, smooth, very nice. Alright, now we are finished smoothing the edges. Now what we need to do is just to kind of bend the model, this the leaf patterns, the plastic, and kind of just tilt the edge like that, but do not force it. You need to be very gentle with it. Just like that. Just kind of separate the edges only. Now if it doesn't come out like that, you have your little piece, these clay material, clay things, so you just need to push it a little bit, the edges with the straight, just like that, and try it again, and it works. Okay, now you need to gently take out the clay, just like that, and you have a beautiful little piece, but it's not dry yet. What you'll need to do is just to straighten up the edges, because when you take it out, the edges kind of crack it up a bit. So we'll just put it aside and work on it on our little mat to make it smooth. There you have it. One of them is done. Now another one, I think I'm going to work half of it on another nice leaf pattern, and this one I'm just going to make something out of my hand. So you just want to make a little ball like that, the technique I use is just rub it with your palm and put it on the table and push lightly onto the table a little bit, just like that, just like that. So, and after that you want to make a little push so that it has a line, and then this is a heart shape, so you'll just try to make it into a heart shape and smooth out the edges. It's not the perfect heart shape, but close to one. And you want to put it on the table, it doesn't matter, just try to make it nice and smooth like a heart shape. So there you go, a heart shape, which I'm going to set it aside and let it dry. And the last piece, which is drying up pretty fast, you just want to make it smooth a little bit, and then just like the last time, make it very smooth, because we're going to press onto this clay the leaf patterns, and just push it in, and the all edges, put it down, push it downward, and after that the same thing. Make sure you have a very beautiful pattern with the leaves. So then you make a very gentle surface beneath it, so you can use it anytime you want and anywhere you want. And bend the plastic to take out the shape very gently. And there you have it, a smaller piece of the beautiful leaf pattern. See the difference? It's, first of all, it's a different pattern. One is big and one is small. This is more round, this is more oval shape, and it's more beautiful, I think. That's right. So let me show you what it looks like when it's all dried up, and show you all the other shapes that I did as well. Gotta be very gentle when it's done, because it's very fragile. I haven't painted them yet, but this shape is a heart shape, and I rolled a little piece of clay, and then I put it on top of the heart shape, just like that. Very easy. And all the rest of the rolls, I put it around the edge, so it looks like a cookie. And it will look beautiful when it's painted. Then next, I'm going to show you the heart. This is the heart that I made. It's already dried up. I'm sure you can use it as a chalk. This is great. I'm gonna draw a heart shape with a heart. And it will look good when it's dried, when it's painted. Let me show you the back of it. It's actually quite thick. When this clay dries up, it shrinks a little bit, so yeah, it looks good. Alright, I'll put it aside. Remember all the leaf patterns that we just made? And it is not dry yet, like this one. And this is the dry version. The color difference is distinctive. The wet one is a little yellower. When it's dried up, it's gonna look like very white. So this pattern is very nice, and I think it can be used as a very nice decoration piece, you know, very artistic. One of the big one is dried up, and it looks very nice as well. And it's very thin when it dries up, as you can see. Another piece which is dried up. Remember I said you need to make it quick and make the edges smooth. See what happens if you don't? It cracks up. That's right. And another piece, which is the medium size, I think. All dried up. Let me just align this like that. And one more. And many more. I made a lot of these patterns because I love making them. This is my favorite, and this is the smallest one, and very thin as well. The edges are a little cracked, but I'm sure we can make it better. Where does this go? Let me see. I like to make it very thin as it dries up faster, and it looks very beautiful. And I'll just align it. I think this goes here. Very nice. The biggest one here. And I made this like half egg version. When you put it down, it looks like an egg. Put it aside. Inside it looks like the leaf pattern that we just made. And one more heart that is dried up. Two hearts, I think. I try to make the heart shape as 3D as possible. Had to use this a lot, so that you can like push the edges up, make it more round, more pointy. To use a lot of hand work. You need to make it very smooth so it turns out smooth. That. And I will show you Mr. Smiley Face that I made using the pointy edge here. I just rolled it up like that, like the heart that I showed to you. Then I just pushed it in and made a smiley face like that. And it's very cute and a little creepy, but I'm sure if I paint it nicely, it will look nice. And another thing I made is this little strawberry. You can make it yourself as well using this pointy edge. Exactly the same technique, just make the shape into strawberry and just make very tiny holes all over because strawberry has them, and get very tiny pieces of the clays and push it on the top, put it on the top, make it look like leaves. And what you need to do to make it, the two clays stick together, is just to push this into one another so it kind of sticks there and dries up together. And the next time when you paint it, you'll just have to be very careful with the leaves because it's very, very thin. And I've made 2 of them. This one is more expert though. Looks better. So we'll just put it aside. I love heart next to each other like that. And my very first project was to make a thin layer of clay. It's kind of like a plate. So when it was not dry, but it had a little shape to it. So what I just did is to push the sides and push the top into making this kind of shape. Very nice crumpled. And just put it aside and make it dry. When it dried up, it came out looking very nice. Like a paper. So it's very nice. And you can do this as well. This is very simple. And I made another shape like a plate. Just like this. But you'll just need to have to be very gentle with it to make this shape. You'll need to have something like this shape to make it into a bow. Work very gentle with it. It's obviously not the perfect, but it carries a lot of things, like the heart that I just made, some leaves. Let me put some leaves in it. Some big leaves first. Just fits just right. Let me take out the biggest leaf here. Yes, now it works. And I can put in some of the strawberries here. And also the hearts that are already dried up. Beautiful. And one more leaf pattern. One of the smallest leaf. And it fits. Put it aside. And Mr. Smiley Face. Alright. Okay, the last thing is the most extraordinary, I always think. This is the piece that I have made. And you can make it, it's very easy. Just get a big sum of the clay and roll it up to this shape, very thin one, layers. And just take your clay, making all the leaves, and just put it in like so. Push it from the inside out like that, and to make exactly this shape. I think it's like that. Take out all the bubbles and the edges. Try to make it very, very smooth at the edges as well. And gently lift it up. And you'll have something like this. And what you'll need to do is put it aside, make it dry. You'll have this beautiful pattern. And you can have fun time painting each of the leaves different colors, and then the background. It's a beautiful little piece. So put it aside. The last is this little clay, which is rather a mistake on my part. I made it very thin and pushed it very thin as well, and I forgot to push it and make it into a very nice crumpled piece, but when it dried up it was very straight. So what I'm going to show you is how it looks like when it's all dried up and how you can break them up one by one. I'm going to be throwing this piece away after this. Very soft actually. Let me put this all aside so that you can see it more clearly. Meanwhile, you can do your clay. If you have any question, you can ask me. Yeah, if not, if you've already done it, just put the clays aside, let it dry. Let me just put these clays aside so it can dry up nicely. Okay, you really have to be very careful with this instrument. All right. It's very fragile. It is not hard, so it's when it breaks, it just breaks like that. Of course, when it drops or anything like that, it will maybe crack, or it will be more messy. It's like breaking up a chocolate bar that is in room temperature. Very easy. Very nice, actually. Let me just break it into small pieces and put it aside, just for the fun of it. Are you doing well? Your clays look good. The patterns are very nice actually. Let me check it out. Okay, the patterns are actually from Studio by Sculpey. Ferns and squares. And I did have the squares as well. There. I did make a square, but I didn't really like it as much as the leaf pattern. Let me see if I'm just starting to experiment on these little clay pieces. Let me see if it works with the ballpoint pen. It works. Let me see. Oh, it's very nice. Beautiful. I can write on one of these and make a card. And that says have a great day, but I'm going to break it into pieces. It has a very nice effect with the ballpoint pen, so you can try that and make write down a very nice greetings to your friends. You can do that. More thicker part of the clay is harder to break. And after this I'm going to write with the pencil and see if it is as good as the pen or it is better. Let me just put this aside. 5B should be fine. I will need to find the to make it more sharp. This is my favorite brand. It's very smooth, it's very nice. Ooh, very sharp. Now I'll just have to be careful with it and write down here. It is more satisfying than the ballpoint pen. It looks so much better. And it feels good to write on it. Okay, right here. There is my fingerprint when I'm writing. If you don't want it to have fingerprint, maybe you can brush it with a brush. When it's wet, of course, I'm sure you'll have a very nice pattern as well. Oops, let me just clear this up. Where is my eraser? I don't know if eraser will work on the clay. It's another experiment. It works, but not as well. Better than nothing. And you can write on the other side as well. Why is this very hard? Let me just break it up. It's Yep, good. And then it's gone. And it looks good. So because the feels good and the pencil is very black, smooth, just because it's 5B. And I'm going to break this last little piece, word by word, if I could. And here we have the pile of clay that we wrote on and broken into pieces. It's going to be very messy if you scatter it along all over the floor. But fortunately, we will not. I will throw it away and I'll break it even further, just so it's easier to throw away. It's all white all over my hand. I'm going to use the brush to collect all the extra little piece all over the desk. You can do so if you want to. gonna get this undried clay. See, feel how so moist it is. The back where the plastic part touched here. It is all because it's drying up on the top, and it is the air beneath it is trapped. So I'll put it on the other side like that. Put it aside, let it dry. Get all of these pieces. And the most important part is just to put the clay back in where it was. Alright. Very loud outside, I know. The clay is back. So we finished our class. If anyone has any questions, you can stay back and ask me anything you want. And if not, I'm gonna stay here for a while and sharpen some of my pencils since I have found a sharpener. As you can see, many of my pencils are not sharp. It's very dull, and I need it to be sharper so that I can use it anytime I want to. And I can sharpen your pencils as well. This is 8B, right? See how thick it is. It's going to be very, very thick, black. I'm going to have to throw all of this out. Meanwhile, sharp now. Just put it on top here. It's not supposed to be open, but okay. Very sharp. Now I can draw or write something with very details. Good. This is a color pencil from Faber-Castell. Watercolor, actually. It's blue color.